Representatives of CARICOM member states, the CARICOM Secretary General, and senior environmental officers are in Marrakesh, Morocco for the 22nd meeting of the parties to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, COP22. The discussions focus on the implementation of the first ever universal legally binding global climate change deal, the Paris Agreement, agreed at the Paris Climate Conference COP21 in December 2015. Governments agreed to a long-term goal of keeping the increase in global temperatures well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and to aim to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, many of the details to reach those goals have to be resolved.
It's a highly technical conference of parties. I would say that most of the heavy political pulling was done in Paris. In this meeting, it will be a lot of technical, fine-tuning the technical processes that will deliver for our countries.
CARICOM member states were among the more than 100 nations that signed or ratified the Paris Agreement ahead of its entry into force on the 4th of November 2016. This demonstrated commitment to global efforts to combat climate change is carried through at COP22.
As states, we are the most vulnerable of countries to the issue of climate change. We therefore look forward with optimism that the implementation of the Paris Agreement would go to our favor.
Ensuring the predictability of resources to assist with adaptation and with loss and damage are among the key considerations for small island developing states, like those of CARICOM.
We are hoping that the pledges of 100 billion per year by 2020, mainly by developed countries, will come forth. There is some optimism that it will, although there are some recent developments that might put some question to that. But we are hoping that the issues of loss and damage for the region, the adaptation fund, the funding mechanisms, the Green Climate Fund, we do have some challenges in the region with capacity, and even though there are resources available, that in itself is a challenge. But we are hoping that our negotiations will help us to find a way through that process.
CARICOM has consistently articulated that climate change poses an immediate threat and that it has already begun to experience its impact. Negotiators in Morocco are therefore retaining a focus on the need for the global community to rapidly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to strive to hold long-term temperature goals below 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels.